Come on over to our valley, where boys run free. Run to the lush green meadows in your shorts. Brother John will be your guide in a summer of indescribable earthly delights.
Welcome to Ignorant to Informed with the Top 10 Facts, humanity's first collective attempt to inform the human mind in 10 simple steps. My name's Matt, but they call me the Slab. That's S to the L-A-B Slab. Copyright credit to my boy J to the R-O-C. So I'm the bouncer, the verbal bouncer. This means I'm here to protect free speech, and I verbally abuse those that have a problem with that. Get it? Of course you do. And that speech protection starts with our next guest. Quick disclaimer, the use of the term ignorance on these mini documentaries is not an insult, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to become informed. We all can and should become informed. We all know why. Ignorance is of epidemic proportion on planet Earth. If you don't recognize that, then, well, maybe you're part of the problem? Kidding, of course. But think about that. We use the term ignorance as an invitation to become informed. But maybe even more so, it's an invitation to be free. Trust us on this one. It's the epidemic of ignorance, not evil, that causes the problems in this world. Why? The ignorant outnumber the evil 100 to 1. And that's a problem, shall we say, of epidemic proportions. But that will all change starting with our next guest. Favor, and will you give me permission to share my screen?
Right, should be okay now.
You did good. All right, cool. All right, you can where's my document here? Right here. Okay, what the heck? Okay, so this is what I want to see it. So now, all right, the introduction's over, and I've got Lucinda Lidstone on my podcast here. And Lucinda, what I'd like to do to you today is to ask you to consider 3 different lists of 10 things. One is the 10 Commandments, the next is the 10 Bill of Rights, and the third is the top 10 facts. Okay, so I'm just going to get your reaction to some of this. Can you see on my screen right now?
Yeah.
It's basically saying which one of these lists of 10 is most important in your world right now. So here's the 10 Commandments. Okay, your thoughts on the 10 Commandments. What's the purpose? What's the goal?
Nada. Well, I don't like being told what to do, for starters, and I don't agree with half of those 10 commandments, I'm afraid.
Okay. Would you like to elaborate? This is really good. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Well, you shall have no other gods than before me. No, don't agree with that. Because I told you when I was younger, I was into paganism, and so that's a very different, a different way of looking at things. Thou shalt not make. No, I don't agree with not making images. Why not? It helps you focus. Don't take the name of the Lord God in vain. Yeah, in principle, but I say, oh my God, oh Jesus, oh Christ, all the time. Right. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Every day is holy. Honour your father and mother. No, because it doesn't necessarily mean they're good people. If they're willfully ignorant, they're as guilty as everybody else. Thou shalt not kill. Yeah, I'm not going to kill anyone. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Yeah, it's not a good idea to commit adultery, but I don't like the black and white thing of that. No, I don't steal. I try to always be honest. Thou shalt not covet. Well, I can be very envious of other people, so I'm not living up to that one either. So that's what I think about them.
I absolutely freaking love it. Absolutely love it. Now, again, I haven't really thought about them to that degree, but one of the things, the assessment that it seemed like the top four, and maybe you heard this before, are basically saying, listen, it's about me.
Yeah.
I am the God, which I'm okay with that because it's proven there is a benevolent, loving creator. So this fact that the first four strike me as, listen, make me part of your life. You're right. They're taking the wrong approach. It'd be much better to say, hey, your life might be better if you let me in, as opposed to demanding.
Yeah, but you see, the way you interpret it, great. But the way that's written there, that's still about controlling the masses. And that's what I don't agree with.
I agree with, 100%. Yeah. Now, too, again, the way this is written is subjective because these words change in terms of whoever writes the commandment. Yeah. But the thrust is the same. We understand it. And then the last six struck me as basically saying, don't be selfish. In my world, sin, anywhere it's written in the Bible, is synonymous with selfish.
Yeah.
So it's basically saying, hey, these are the things that if you do it, you're putting your paradigm first, and that's going to adversely affect other paradigms. So it's selfish. Anyways, again, I don't see it as the most practical list. I'm not sure what favors it does us. It does kind of straighten it out. Hey, we shouldn't be killing each other. But beyond that, I'm with you. Okay, let's look at the Bill of Rights. Okay.
Freedom of religion, speech, yes. Right to keep and bear arms, yes. No quartering of soldiers. What does that mean? I
know that's a weird way it's written, but it's basically a Bill of Rights that at that time they said the government can't force you to house their soldiers.
Oh, right, okay.
Something like that.
Freedom from that, yes, I agree with that. Right to due process, yes. Rights of accused persons, right to, yes. 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 Yes.
Okay.
Powers reserved to the states. Don't know what that means. Don't like the sound of it.
Okay. I'm guessing the powers reserved to the states if should they become a battle with our federal government.
Okay.
I'm saying states. Okay, so and down here I did write down their explanation and everything, but you get the gist of it.
Yeah.
Okay. A general assessment about the Bill of Rights. If you look at this Bill of Rights, it's basically human beings at one point in time listing the atrocities that they had to deal with in this world. This is the 10 Bill of Rights is basically the most obvious document that explains this world is controlled by demons. And if you don't have words that say you cannot throw me in jail without due process, you can't put your soldiers here, you can't take my guns, this Bill of Rights illustrates clearly that the world is submerged in an ocean of evil and deception. And this is dropped into that sea of fear and anger, a little ray of truth that says you can't do these things. There's a creator who has bestowed these rights. And because I'm a human being and I'm now in an ocean of selfishness and despair, I need words to protect my freedom. Mm. Okay. There are individuals on this planet who cannot handle this Bill of Rights. This is the biggest obstacle to their agenda. And all it is the list of words I'm showing you right now. The people who wrote it are gone. The attention to it, all that stuff has changed. It's just these words that live on. And without them, evil. The only thing stopping from evil, from completely turning this entire planet into Nazi Germany, is what these Americans came up with one day.
Yeah.
The way I see it. Okay. So, Bill of Rights, as far as I'm concerned, 10 little obvious freaking steps that says, listen, you selfish motherfuckers, get off our backs.
Yeah.
Okay. And believe it or not, this right here, that freedom of speech protected by this military, our guns, is the only reason you and I are having this conversation.
Yes.
If I wasn't from Wisconsin, it probably wouldn't be happening. Anyways, so again, I tell my kids this. Trust me, it's going the wrong way. And right now, the 10 Commandments and the Bill of Rights aren't doing anything to stop it. I think we need a new list of 10.
Yeah.
So let's go to this one. What do you think of that?
Yes.
Can you explain? Can you read it though and explain it?
We are alive and free. Well, we should be alive and free. We are alive. I'm not sure how free we are. We deserve to be free from coercion or control. Absolutely. We are a conscious soul. Yes, indeed we are. We live a lucid dream. Yes. We will die. We will live. Yes. We must abide by conditions.
That's
yes.
The yin yangs, right? You remember
that?
Yeah.
Okay. We create with volition. Yes. We have free will, in other words. We must recognize selfish desire for control. Yes. Because if somebody has a selfish desire for control, then they're not your friend.
And if you don't recognize it, what happens?
You're willfully ignorant.
Well, no, they take control.
Well, indeed, they do.
If you don't recognize a selfish desire for control, they will take your freedom.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
We can escape ignorance and unite in the frequencies of truth. Yes. Yes.
Do you believe that? That's a big one. Do you really believe in the Great Awakening that we can escape ignorance and meet in frequencies of truth?
Yes, I do believe that.
All right.
Yeah. We are not equal. We are unique. Yes. But even so, the problem with all of these top tens, whether it be the commandments, the Bill of Rights or the facts, is that it's open to interpretation, which you will find when you start interviewing your people, because they're all going to have a different take on it, aren't they?
Yes, and that's the most beautiful part. Okay, I can take you through these, and once I get your interpretation, I can rewrite it to account for it. We want the same thing. We want an accurate description of that which we know is unmistakably true, but we also want to prioritize it in terms of what we think is most important to help us out of this mess first. So, yes, the way those are written, you and I, again, we've done this before, but we can revisit it. So you see, and two, if you look at the one I shot with Nate, they're written poorly. I need to write them better. I couldn't even read them but again, that can be articulated. Give me a half hour to go at it. It'll be articulated better. It's a process we're moving forward. And I know you and I could sit down, run through them, and in a short period of time, we can improve on all of them in terms of the language and the description and the accuracy. You know, we're editors now saying, is this written and articulated as best we can? Then, more importantly, we can move to step 11. Okay. And, or fact 11. And that fact can be whatever we deem most important. And if I were to speculate, I would think the next fact would be, first of all, I think we could substitute Tim's video for the first fact. There's a case to be made because Tim's video says you are God. So that concept. Now, again, the first fact has to deal with freedom. So the consciousness, the understanding consciousness in the world has to come after the fact that if you're not free, there's no even point in being here. The whole thing's an exercise in futility if you're not free. So that comes first. But then after that, we start explaining the consciousness, and that's where Tim's video is obviously dead on accurate.
Yeah, but you see, you want to get people that aren't yet awakened. So you have to have more down-to-earth language, which is why I like the way you've written it. Because I really don't see how you can't really argue with that, except as Gareth is an atheist, he would deny that you're a conscious soul and that you're living a lucid dream.
Right.
But I think...
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I like the fact that your language is really practical and down-to-earth. Okay.
Well, it really isn't my language because these were written after I spoke with you, after I spoke with Alex. It's my collective effort. But yes, so with Gareth, I'm going to go talk to me. What do you see? What proof do you have? Where do you see that now that these have been established? Now it's time to be the skeptics need to come to town here and say what's wrong with them. That's crucial. We almost want to bring them in saying, listen, you want to adopt a posture of disagreement. That's fine. They're to create the discussion. The words need to come first. The words need to be written in terms of articulating that which is unmistakably true as best we can. But from there, we're supposed to beat on it and poke holes in it. Okay, so anyways, again, that would be a good one with Gareth. I'll bring him in. And again, you could say, hey, read through this stuff before you come on and just hit me with whatever. But I guarantee I would think, unless, again, you're going to have all kinds of people, and this doesn't just mean Gareth, it means anybody that says things that they don't even necessarily believe. In other words, if they'll go, hey, there is no God, and I go, well, what makes you think that? Well,
Yeah.
So it kind of backs them into a corner. But anyways, the point remains the same, and we'll see. Again, starting with one person, this is where, too, I don't believe facts 2 through 10 even matter. As far as I'm concerned, the first one I did with Nate was just fact number 1. Yeah. Fact number 1 in my analogy or building this concept says you've entered the free world. If you go through fact number 1, which is, again, going to say we're supposed to be free, and the people who disagree with that are dangerous to our freedom. That's fact 1. Once you've done that, you now are up in this frequency where we can talk about the next facts and actually make sense with each other. So fact number 1 is the bomb. Fact 2 through 2000 are icing on the cake. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So anyways, and so that's cool. I mean, I like this. Now the fact that we've compared these 3 lists, that changes a mind's perception. Okay. Imagine think of the reverence of the 10 Commandments. Think of the reverence of the Bill of Rights. Can you imagine having the same reverence with our list of facts? That's a game changer in a big way. And if you and I don't create that into, again, it sounds all wiggity-whack, and that's why I'm glad this is being captured. But you and I are no different than James Madison. We're writing a document for the world of which anybody can see, but when all's said and done, whoever looks at it has to endorse it. I sign on. And then that person that signs on, again, if they came here and it gave them peace through understanding, in the language we can say, there's an obligation for you to share this. Okay, there is. I mean, we're human beings. When we're born on this planet, there are certain obligations. One obligation is if you don't fight for your freedom, you won't have it.
Yes.
So part of the language can be the obligation, not a mandate, but a think it through. If this is of value to people you love, you might share the thing. And I'm hoping that'll create, again, I'll be curious what you thought of Nate's reaction to it.
Yeah, well,
that's where it starts. Yeah.
Get it to me and I'll have a look.
All right. Sounds good. Because, yes, that's a huge milestone. Now, again, you check it out. But you see this, though, that each step we can get better at this, that I can package this concept. Okay. And by the way, I'm calling it a documentary. No more podcasts.
Okay.
All right. You are. Okay. So I got to get you off the line and get something sent to you. So,
yes.
But again, thank you for going through this. Whenever I get you on the line, you can see I get on a soapbox where I'm so convinced that we can pull this thing off. And if we do, the world will be a better place. And you and I will, right? You are such a champ for putting up with that I'm sweating like a pig here. Hey, you know the times that we've ended our videos and you go, hey, have you forgetting anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel bad because in those cases, I felt like I tell you how beautiful you are and how much I love you through the whole broadcast. So I'm assuming that stuff made it in and I don't have to say it at the end. But that is the way we're going to close every day, every time, my friend, okay?
All right.
I love you more than I can even describe. And you are just a beautiful angel and such a big part of my life. I'm eternally grateful.
Ah, bless you. Well, we'll speak soon.
Okay, well, let's plan for next week. If that doesn't work out, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, I'm your patient. You're my therapist. You cannot run and hide.
All right, my darling.
All right, I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye,
okay,
darling.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.